Hello Aries, welcome to your mid-2019 overview reading. This is going to cover July to December of 2019, and it's good for your sun, moon, or rising Aries. Now, please, before anything else, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell if you'd like to know when I upload, and please follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. More readings, more content, more fun stuff is all on there, and check out my podcast if you're interested. All of that is free to you, so I hope you enjoy it. And of course, I'm always available to work with. So let's go ahead. I'm going to lay this spread out and then we'll get into it. All right, go ahead and take a deep breath into the diaphragm. Notice anything that's coming up for you today. Just set your intention, get super clear. Okay, so the first thing coming up for you is get curious. So the best approach that you can have is going to be coming from a place of curiosity, coming from a place of wonder. Wait and see. Don't prematurely call things. You're really going to want to be mindful of that and just breathe into the information that you're receiving. Get curious about it. There's no reason why you need to rush ahead or call things prematurely. So just ask questions before you jump to conclusions. That's going to help you a lot. The affirmator for you is forgiveness. Congratulations, you're being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is. Forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power, but remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. I also want to mention forgiveness does not mean letting people walk all over you. It doesn't mean letting people off the hook. It doesn't mean not having boundaries, okay? Forgiveness means you release yourself of the resentment and holding on to the anger, right? Or the whatever the resentment is manifesting as. So it's just for you. Now, the word of the second half of 2019 is initiate. Just get started. A beginning only takes a moment. Assign yourself the title now. Choose to align with the joyful discovery that awaits you on the journey ahead. All right, lovely. So with that cardinal energy, this shouldn't be an issue, I'd imagine. Just get started. Less thinking, more doing. Okay, so let's go ahead, and this spread is a lot different than I usually do. So what I want you to do first is these three cards in the middle, only pick one. So just for now, pick a card, check in. This is going to be the central energy for you over the coming 6 months. So it's going to turn into a mess if you pick more than one. So just check in. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. Card number 1, so this is the first central energy. We have the Hermit. It's time for you to retreat, consider all of the different things that you could be working on or you could be doing. And what I mean by that is it's going to help you get clear on what it is that your desires are. What is your body wanting? What are you needing at this time? And the more you're able to figure that out, the better off you're going to be. So it's kind of like get quiet first so you can actually feel into what your body is telling you, and then you can go from there. So the Hermit is all about introspection coming first. So while you do want to initiate, you don't want to forget that you have to show up and you have to take action and you have to be consistent in order to manifest whatever it is that you desire. The Hermit is saying a lot of the answers are internal right now. It's not something that's going to be reflected in the external right this moment. You have to get clear here first. And then card number 2, we have the Queen of Wands. This is your personal power, your fire. And I think this is about showing up and being your big, bold self, not shrinking in order to make other people comfortable. This is something where you're going to want to just move forward with whatever ferocity you have. And I think that's really going to work for you. That's the right strategy, is charge forward, be your fiery self, use that initiation, that cardinal energy that you have. And I think practicing that over the next 6 months is going to bring a lot of rewards. So try that out. Card number 3, we have the 4 of Pentacles. You need to watch your scarcity mindset. And I mean that in all ways. It might not show up as financial scarcity for you. It could be something like time scarcity or energy scarcity. Watch your language around what you think you don't have enough of, and that might paint a picture of what's actually going on. So I would check in, where are you feeling like you don't have enough, or you need to be ultra conservative? That might be something that you want to adjust or make a tweak to. Now, this is what's falling away over the next 6 months, and this is what's oncoming in the next 6 months. So what's falling away for you is the 5 of Cups, disappointment, having some issues in terms of like focusing on what isn't going well rather than what is going well. And I see this as you're really progressing in a lot of ways, because if disappointment is falling away, if that focus and fixation on, oh, this isn't going right, is falling away, that means it's opening you up to bigger, better, bolder opportunities in the future. So I think there's the frustration, or this could also be a situation like something really unsavory falling out of your life. Let's see what the oncoming energy is. We have the 4 of Cups. So it's interesting. I think this has more to do with you just being ultra conscious of where your energy is going and what you're applying it to. Let me clarify this one. Knight of Knives. So moving forward with a lot of independence and clarity of mind, clarity of thought, clarity of action. And I think this entire situation just looks like, by asking questions, being mindful, and initiating on behalf of your desires, you're going to get really clear on what isn't working and what you need to put your foot down and say no to, because that information is really important as well. It's not just about what you say no to, but also what you say yes to. And by auditing what it is that's going on regarding your yeses and nos, you're going to be able to make a lot of progress over this next 6 months of 2019. So use your energy wisely. And then, okay, so before I pull this card, actually, what I'd like to say is this is kind of like a freebie that I'm giving you here. This is what you need to know, but you can set your intention for whatever area of your life you want it to be. So kind of like a choose your own adventure card selection for the second half of 2019. But like maybe you're wondering about your love life, maybe you're wondering about money, maybe you're wondering about career, that no matter what, just set your intention, pause it if you need more time. So we have the 6 of Cups. Okay, lots of cups. You have the 4, 5, and 6 of Cups on the table. This has to do with nostalgia and also the right connections. So if you're wondering, how do I get this thing, or how do I make this happen? The answer is connection, because this is the soulmate card, or a soulmate card in tarot. So what I'm seeing for you is that that's actually a good avenue and a good approach to take. It's less about a specific strategy and more about what connections are you making. Like, that is the strategy. Ask questions, get curious, get to know more people, and you might find that the right connections come in at the right time. The right friends, or that right partner, or that right recruiter, that right business connection, you know, all of that stuff is how you're going to reach your goals and accomplish the things that you want. It's about the people that you're surrounding yourself with and who you have in your circle. To clarify, we have the 5 of Stars. So this is what's going to help you shift out of any like poverty mindsets or feeling like you need to be ultra conservative, kind of like what I was talking about here, more so for you if you picked this card. But if there's anything within you that's really coming up against a major limiting belief, then the solution is surround yourself with people who boost your self-concept or who believe in your goals as much as you do. Make sure that you are kind of hanging out in the right areas. If you're wanting something, if you're wanting to network with a specific group of people, make sure you're taking stock of that, and it's gonna really shift things. So for you, I would say identifying what it is that you want and then getting to know people who are also a part of that is going to be the biggest thing that you can do over this next 6-month period. Now let's get into the timeline. So the timeline, first, second, third, and fourth quarter, that'll be where you end the year, but these are about 6 weeks, so a month and a half each. So let's start with the first quarter. We have the Four of Wands. This has to do with a happy home, reasons to celebrate. Make sure you're figuring out what helps you feel grounded. So no matter what your living situation is, figure out how to ground where you are. And focusing on domestic things is going to be really helpful during this first quarter. I don't know why, that's just what this is showing up as. So that's another thing that you can also take into account is, how am I feeling in my living space? How am I feeling in my home? How is my environment? Is this conducive to what I want long term? Quarter 2, we have the Two of Cups. So this is the same thing that I was referring to in terms of connection. Even if romance isn't a part of your thing right now, if that's not something that's important to you, that's okay. This is still saying connections matter for all of the other things that you're achieving and all the other things that you desire. The right people, like what I was saying with the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups is showing this is a good like networking spot. For those of you that are interested in partnership, this is a good time to focus on that. This is a good time to meet more people and make that a priority. Quarter 3, we have the Eight of Pentacles, getting to work. You're going to need to put in the effort. It's not going to come by you just crossing your fingers. You have to actually apply yourself. So execute on the things that you desire. Use the initiation to support you at this time. And that Eight of Pentacles is really going to bring things to life. So make sure if you have met the right connection that you actually take action on the things that you've already put into motion. If you're not doing that, then nothing is going to change. So I don't want anyone to think that this is concrete, because you still have free will. You can sit on your hands for the next 6 months and nothing can happen. Remember, that's always available to you. I hope you don't do that just for yourself, but that's what this is saying, is you have to apply yourself. You have to give it energy, whatever you're after. And then quarter 4, we have the Fool. So I think there's actually a change in direction by the end of the year, or you might get a big aha, a big download of inspiration and information that's coming through. The Fool is simply a new journey, a new beginning, a new transformation, and I think you're really able to get going in the right ways. So this is actually really exciting just because it's whatever you're moving into, whatever you're wanting, it seems like that's available, but you're going to have to pivot by the end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in 2020, just because it looks like there's definitely a big shift. You start, it could be an opportunity or something that comes at the end of the year because of all the work that you put in here. But remember, the opportunity and direction is going to directly correlate with how much effort and energy you've put into what you want. Whether that be a mindset shift, whether that be putting out more applications for a new job, whether that be dating, right? Whatever the work is for you, that's how it's going to pan out as a new opportunity. Now let's do a 3-card pick just to wrap this up. And this is an oracle deck. It doesn't read like a normal tarot deck. So you're welcome to ask a question, pick as few or as many as you'd like. Card number 1, we have Rainbow Transference. And you're going to want to watch your energetic boundaries with other people. Try not to absorb other people's problems or fix things for them. Make sure you're exercising good boundaries. And also don't forget that the people you surround yourself with are going to contribute energy to you as well. So it's kind of like you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's serious for you. Take that into account. If you're hanging out with people that don't make you feel good, then you need to audit who you're spending time with. Card number 2, we have Dependency. What are you feeling like you can't live without or that you really, really need? What are you dependent on? And start exploring. Get curious about what that is. I think you might find that there's a lot of information that comes through as a result of exploring that, and you might actually see that there's a lot of liberation that comes from exploring that. So it's because most of the time, if you're dependent on something, whatever it is, it can be exercise, it can be food, it can be drugs, it can be love, it can be literally anything, right? You can be addicted or dependent on. And when you start looking at what's underneath that, then you're gonna be able to figure out how to resolve it. All right, and then lastly, we have Inside Looking Out. This is about looking at things from I would say new perspective, like just having a broader view of the situation. So you're going to want to just be an observer, like the Get Curious card is making really clear here. The Inside Looking Out is reflecting that same message of just be the observer, just get curious. That's the primary thing that you're going to want to do right now for yourself and for your well-being. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I absolutely appreciate you more than you could possibly know. Don't forget, if you didn't watch all 3 of your Sun, Moon, and Rising, make sure you check out your other videos. And you can check out your Mars and Venus if you're a triple sign, so if you have the same Sun, Moon, or Rising signs. But I also want to let you know, if you are interested in topics about intuition, being psychic, all things esoteric and metaphysical, check out my podcast. It is super, super awesome. I have loved doing it. So please check that out. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. If you need to work with me one-on-one, you know I'm always available for you. So the description box has all of the links to work with me, as well as my meditations, my podcast, all of that good stuff. And don't forget, if you would like the mid-2019 overview love and relationship reading, those are now out on Patreon, bundled with the July reading. So you get 2 readings in one on those videos if you'd like to check that out. Otherwise, I also do weekly sign-specific readings for Patreon as well every Friday. So all of that good stuff is available to you. Check out the description box for anything that you're interested in, or if you just want some more content. And go ahead and have a beautiful rest of the year, everybody. I am sending you so much support, so much love, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.